Who hasn't had trouble with money? Many people know the struggle of having to survive in an environment where money is solely everything. It definitely isn't any simpler for college students, having to pay for book fees and their tuition with money from their own pockets. This is why the majority of students in college apply for scholarships or join programs that help minimize the price or pay for the whole thing. For those that understand the stresses that come with college bills, might know what I'm talking about. But even if you aren't, I'm sure you've heard the controversy that has sprouted over the years of whether student athletes should get paid by the National Collegiate Athletic Association for their hard work. For those that might not understand the full context of NCAA, it allows students to join sports in order to get the opportunity of a full ride scholarship. From doing research, I have found many reasons why these students receive enough from NCAA. Although student athletes dedicate most of their leisure time to their sports, the NCAA shouldn't be obligated to pay their athletes because it is a nonprofit organization that pays for the assistance the athletes need in order to continue to be in sports. For more than a century, the NCAA has been granting student athletes with benefits like access to education, academic success with academic support services, scholarships, medical care, and much more. Many research shows that the NCAA does not make money from the student athlete achievements, but as Arash Afshar states, in addition to the scholarships, athletes often receive free apparel, including clothing and shoes. These are the essential expenses plus benefits athletes receive. So the students are being rewarded for the sports that they play, which clearly isn't for free, as many might say. But the reason the NCAA isn't paying their students is because the students will more likely focus on money offers rather than their education. In football games, some colleges will start bidding money offers to the players on the field. This drives the player's decision on attending the highest bidding schools. For at least every semester, the more skilled the player gets, the slimmer chance of focusing on education and graduating. Depicting that the growth for education is less considered than thinking the athletic department as a business. The way many people want the organization to be set up, there might be a chance that scholarships would no longer be available to students. If money was given to the organization to give to the students directly, there wouldn't be enough for the benefits that are gifted. In Vanderford's article, he states, while the NCAA member institutions continue to derive large profits, the student athletes who generate these extravagant profits are limited to receiving tuition, fees, room, boards, and books. Scholarships do not provide them with any other income. Vanderford doesn't state the scholarships themselves are not taxable, which requires the students to pay for taxes and the things listed. The way of treating NCAA as a business might actually hurt the expenses of students with more debt. Later on, Vanderford discusses what students have to sacrifice for their sports. He states, a 2011 study conducted by the NCAA found that Division I football players spend an average of 43.3 hours a week on their sport, playing games, practicing, training, watching films, and traveling. This doesn't support his claim on why students should get paid though, but it shows how they're passionate about their sport. Without the idea of getting paid to play the sport, the dedication and effort won't go away. But if contracts are set up and their idea payment rises and schools can't meet the players' wants, they wouldn't want to stay at that school. In the Atlantic, it is said that corporations offer money so they can profit from the glory of college athletes, and the universities grab it. That might be heard like a bad thing, but that's the way colleges support their sports, to make students want to continue joining and going with the program. One exception the NCAA should authorize is an alternative way students should earn money. The NCAA is in charge of regulations that students should follow. One main one would be to not accept money by selling their athletic image. It is said that student athletes shouldn't be in charge of so much money to prevent trouble, but these athletes should be allowed to set up endorsements on their image. But with the NCAA not paying athletes and just giving athletes just enough money for tuition and college fees, they might even want to finish college or not drop out when they have just enough money. In the following visual, you can see how well the organization is continuing to raise the rate at how many student athletes graduate. This shows that the regulations keep the athlete's mind on their studies more than anything. This will be a totally different outcome if they started to pay the athletes. The organization mainly considers the rules setting to keep the concept of money out of the deal with sports. For the students, they should work hard and spend a reasonable amount of time on their sport, not for the benefit of NCAA, but for their passion. So NCAA shouldn't be obligated to pay students.